Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Concho with the weekly comic book roundup. We've covered quite a bit this week. Now it's on to the home stretch with this week's Batman books that aren't Black Label, since the 3 Black Label books we had were all, Batman books. Anyway, kicking things off, we've got Batgirls #1, spinning out of the events of Fear State. So in Fear State, Oracle's clock tower was destroyed, and her network was compromised and then taken down by Babs herself. So, also, the Batgirls were Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, was falsely accused of murder. So, we got a little bit with Seer at the beginning, looking at, kind of just talking about observer theory. And how she's kind of always been, the obscure, the invisible. Then she says, but soon she will be seen. So, the Batgirls move into the hill portion of Gotham. It's, yeah. Part of it being that it's since it's kind of low tech, it'll be harder for Seer to potentially hack them because the Batgirls will be forced to rely on, low tech. But, so, apparently there's an art gallery nearby there. While getting stuff out of the van, Cass gets attacked by some local gang members. But there's also a local graffiti artist by the name of he hasn't been named yet. We haven't got his name yet. But it turns out that Batgirl or Cassandra took down the gang members who she had to throw a fight to. But when it comes to low tech, they're using walkie-talkies. They've got burner phones, not the explain for emergencies only, not for scrolling when you're bored. And she got them scooters, though. Cassandra stole the keys to the gang member's car. So they've got a car which they eventually named Bondo. The graffiti artist is named Tudor. But they find one of his pieces, and they also find the same gang members roughing up some street workers. However, the street workers appear to be in a trance. But the Batgirls take them down. They drop a smoke bomb to hopefully help the dehypnotize the street workers. And there's a point where where the little eye symbol that, if I remember correctly, is or something similar to the eye symbol that Seer used, pops up on one of Oracle's screens, though Oracle doesn't see it. And Stephanie thinks she's pretty sure that the grumpy neighbor just discarded a body. So Cassandra and Stephanie go out, and they end up having to call Barbara for help because the Saints have just marched in. Tarsus, Assisi, 505, and Valentine. They're all wearing they're former magistrate members wearing additionally enhanced armor. It's a fun way to kick off the series. I think it's supposed to be an ongoing, though it states that it does state in the little blurb what the title information that that at least the story is part 1 of 6. So it could just be a 6-part miniseries. I don't remember what the preview said. Either way, it's fun. I'm liking it. It has the same artist that did the Batgirls story in the last two issues of Urban Legends. So, nice little bit of continuity there. Moving on, we've got I Am Batman, number 4. Where we left off in I Am Batman, well, Fierce Day was still going on, and Arcanine, the guy that Jason had been going after before he returned to Gotham, was killed in prison. Apparently, indirectly by an associate of Simon Saint's named Vincent. But in the Garment District, Batman is trying to track down Seer. What he finds is a mannequin, a partially dismembered mannequin with a phone taped to the face. And Seer talking from said phone. But then some of the magistrates showed up, and actually, I think technically it is after Fierce Day's over with. But Batman takes down the Peacekeepers. Meanwhile, later on, his parents are discussing what's been going on. Lucius surprised that Tanya had Batman in her sights and didn't shoot him. But Tanya suggests they enter therapy. However, but Lucius says, no. We have to set an example to see. We can't go and ask for help. And one of the prison guards that was involved in, that was on duty when Arcanine was killed, well, Batman pays him a visit, and the guard puts one through his own head. Back in Blackgate, Simon Saint is bonded out. Detective Chubb is getting a disciplinary hearing for not taking down Batman during everything, but there's a workaround. She was transferred to New York, which is what she's going to do. Whitaker, who's recovering from his injuries, basically just won't be the same without her. Gotham won't be the same without her. But Batman's trying to gets word that Simon Saint's been made bail and is going after him. But Saint meets with Vincent, who says, if I wanted you dead, I'd have killed you at the prison. And that what he needs, Vincent just wants a new Batman, and so Saint asks, how, and Vincent says that, Saint doesn't have to do anything. At the hospital, Tiffany Fox is sitting with her comatose sister, Tamara, when Tamara wakes up. And so they call the doctor. But Ball, Batman's Jace's oracle, basically, gets into has tracked Saint's phone, and Jace finds Simon Saint dead. Recently at that. And Jace is then attacked by an unseen armored assailant. While by Enterprises, Vincent, whose full name is now being given, or Victor, not Vincent, Victor. Victor Noonan, it turns out, is an associate of, also is, works for the government, and he's also got a contract. He is also, talking to Fox Tech about, the about a project called Talos. Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit. Hybrid of battle armor and machine learning that makes the peacekeeper armor look like a bathrobe. Which is, of course, what's attacking Jace. And Victor's already got eyes on it. Which is where the issue ends. I am Batman's been good, like, the whole time. I've really been digging it. It's great. Apparently, he's going. Jason will be moving from Gotham to New York soon, so that'll. As much as I really do want to see that meeting finally between Bruce and Jace, or just have Bruce return from his European trip to see that Batman. There's a new Batman in town, and he's actually doing good. I think that would make for kind of an interesting concept, but yeah, we'll see what happens there, I guess. I'd hate for them to go years and years without actually meeting. I mean, they met in Future State, yes, and the whole thing was that was when they met, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Nightwing number 87. So, Dick Grayson inherited multiple billions of dollars from the late Alfred Pennyworth. And decided to start a charity in Alfred's name. The primary idea being to clean up Bloodhaven, which is considered a suburb of Gotham City, and is considered to be even worse. Now, a neat thing with this issue is that, according to an interview with writer Tom Taylor, the issue is basically one continuous panel with the way series artist Bruno Redondo did the artwork. But Dick's on the phone with Barbara. Turns out there's a hit out on him, 10 million. So and someone's firing on him in broad daylight. So he suits up. Apparently, someone's broken into his apartment. So he gets in. They're going after Haley. They get Haley, but he continues to chase the assailants. He gets a tag number which passes along to Barbara. They're wanted by the feds, and so Barbara and Dick meet up. She goes high, he goes in low. They take out a whole bunch of thugs, take down the guy who hired them, and Bitewing, Haley, is saved. And that is where the issue ends. We then get a preview of Batgirls number 1, which came out the same day. So yeah, but the continuous panel thing was really great. It's one of those things where it's cool to see, but something I learned from watching the Matrix movies when they first came out was just because something's cool doesn't mean you should want to see it all the time, because after a while it loses its luster. I think that's part of what kind of hampered the Matrix sequels, was that by the time the second movie came out, bullet time was basically just a meme. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Batman Urban Legends, number 10. Okay, so, as per usual with Urban Legends, we got multiple stories. We've got Tim Drake in A Carol of Bats. Where we left off with Tim, he had at least come out as Bot. He at least come out to readers at least as Bi, and was beginning to date an old high school acquaintance of his. He of course helped out the rest of the Bat family during Fear State as well, and the Outsiders. But he goes to the garage and finds Batman stitching himself up and not doing the best of jobs at it. But Tim's got a case, so they go work it together. It's at apparently a church and synagogue are having various items stolen, and Red Robin found out about it through Detective Williams, one of the few cops who's not in Gotham, who's still willing to work with masks. We also get some bits with with Tim talking with Dick about, first Bruce seemed happy after everything was over. Then he just went back to it, and but yeah, a mob of people show up who were kind of in support of the magistrate and whatnot. So they're coming back for what's theirs, but once in the Tim and Dick portions, they take down the bad guy they're going after, and Tim tells him what's going on, and Dick says, "Look, you can't try and make Bruce happy. It'll happen occasionally, but you can't sacrifice your own life just to try and make Bruce happy." And he even says that he tried doing that for a while, and he doesn't want to see Tim give up, sacrifice years off of his own life for that. Back with Tim and Tim and Batman. Batman confronts kind of the point man of the group. And rather than punching the guy, he hugs him. And says, "You've been through hell, and I couldn't stop it. I can't save the past, but there are people we can save now." And basically, Batman, gathering, homeless and whatnot, and bring them to the church from earlier for a meal. And also, Tim got Bruce a present. It's help him with stitching himself up. He wasn't doing great at it, and that's where the story ends. Our next story is part 2 of Down the Rabbit Hole, featuring Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Where we left off, Tweedledum was frantically trying to stay on the straight and narrow, but Tweedledee was not doing well. So he got incredibly worse. So Dumb took him to the hospital along with a duffel bag full of cash. But he's filling out the ER and he doesn't know what, but he dumps the bag of cash. Like, just treat him, take care, and yeah, causes some shots are fired. Batman shows up, and turns out Batman grabbed D and took him to one of the micro caves to try and figure out what's wrong with him. It appears to be just the long-term effects of exposure to Mad Hatter's mind control tech. It suggested to Dumb that if they were to go to Bel Rev, that would be the one place where D could get the treatment he needs to, maybe pull through this. Otherwise, all Batman can do is make him comfortable for a little while. But Mad Hatter hears about this on the news. Is not happy that his 2 cohorts have gone to Bel Rev, and especially that apparently Bel Rev is working on figuring out his tech. Which brings us to Dark Night of the Soul Part 3, featuring Azrael. So where we left off here, Azrael was talking to a scientist who's working on, Lazarus Pit making Lazarus Pit resin, similar to what's being used in Task Force Z, when another, apparently holy warrior, killed the scientist. But, sort of a flashback story to the, shortly before the fall of the Knights Templar. There was an attack. Members of various religious faiths were being attacked by some organized assassins. You might say a league of assassins. It's the League of Assassins. But the Holy War. There was one of the knights went to find these, find and destroy the Lazarus pits, and basically he would. And this knight kind of passed on the legacy of the knight to, continually through the years to a new knight that usually someone he would find would help, that would be found to help, the current knight to help them, and she's the current one. But her and Azrael fight it out. But she manages to escape, and Azrael goes to visit Stephanos at the hospice, as Stephanos is, well, basically he gets the chance to say goodbye to Stephanos before Stephanos passes from, I want to say, if I remember correctly, it was cancer. And our final story is The Bats of Christmas Past, featuring Nightwing. Christmas Eve in Bloodhaven. You've got, shoppers almost shanking each other at B Mart, but a bunch of guys in gas masks show up and start spraying places with fear toxin. Nightwing goes to take them out, but it's the night of the Batgirls Christmas party, and so Barbara's trying to get a hold of him. It's Christmas. It's kind of a Christmas Carol with Nightwing and the Bat family. In fact, the three Batgirls are the ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future. But how he realizes that he's at least not that they're not he's not actually dealing with them is kind of amusing when he first sees Barbara, because it's Barbara in her classic costume, and he explained, you can't be Barbara because this reason, and 3, Babs won't wear that outfit anymore. I've asked. Which, I mean, hey, come on. I imagine with superhero couples, that's kind of a thing where it's like, hey, could you put on that one costume? The one. Like that occasional thing. But he gets shown a Christmas Eve at a Titan's Tower where he just was despondent. And apparently, Jason Todd was outside, that night as well. And how he kind of brought Christmas to the manor. But he snaps out of it and ends up having to... He deals with the Scarecrow guys and then runs into Stephanie. And he gets to see what the Bat family's up to during their Christmas party. Apparently, there's still, Bat has insisted they not start Secret Santa until everyone's there. But it's explained that he's able to deal with the fear toxin because he's been exposed to it ever since he was a kid, which helps him get over severe cases of it. And then he runs into Cassandra, who basically goes to Christmas future. And it's kind of a, these Scarecrow guys keep showing up every Christmas, especially starting with the year they killed Dick Grayson. But Nightwing manages to take him down, and he shows up. And apparently Cassandra he did actually run into. Or at least she saw him. But yeah, all around good story. The Christmas Dick Grayson's Christmas Carol was really nice. I liked it. I kind of hate the fact that the Tweedledum Tweedledee and Azrael stories both kind of ended as just kind of, hey, check out Arkham City. So yeah. But anyway, next up we got Legends of Dark Knight number 8. We got 2 stories here. First off, we've got the Bat and the Ghost. So there were jewel thieves in town. The Ghost Dogs. They're really good. Batman goes after one of them and discovers that she's just a kid. And the building she lived in was burned down by their owners, the Winston family. All for an insurance check. And what did the Winston family do with that check? They went from being the Winston slumlords to becoming the Winston jewelers. But Ghost Dog says, take me in. Or Ghost says, take me in. Batman, haven't heard her story. He's like, no, but give me the jewels. And he follows her back to where the encampment she's living at. Turns out she did keep one set of jewelry. But Batman's not gonna lay the point. We go talk to Commissioner Gordon that night and asks him what he knows about the Winstons. And our second story is called Healing. Once again we see the it's the death of the Waynes, except this time Batman shows up and pummels Joe Chill endlessly until Batman wakes up. Scarecrow's present. He's fear toxin, but yeah, all of his gadgets have been disarmed, and Scarecrow decided that said to himself, what kind of terrible trauma might drive someone to dress like a bat and patrol the city at night? And so Scarecrow thought Batman might be the perfect guinea pig for a little pilot program of his. A modified fear toxin activated by melatonin that allows one to reach into the mind, pinpoint the darkest, most traumatic memory, and throw it away. So basically, getting rid of the memory of those parents. Which, that's... Yeah, no. Rather than even try to take Scarecrow in, Batman just storms out, goes back to the cave, begins working on a possible treatment, and just so he can, just to not forget why he does it. And basically, he relives the memory, and he tries to be there for his younger self, and his younger self is also tries to be there for him. It's kind of moving, really. Honestly, good issue. Both stories were great. Yeah, just really, hands down, great. Which brings us to our next book, Robin and Batman, #2. Where we left off, Dick Grayson was still in training to be Robin, but Batman had made him a suit, and having snuck in, read through Dick's journal. But before that had happened, Robin had gone out a few times on his own to prove he was ready. And he helped Batman, but they ran afoul of Killer Croc. But Killer Croc recognized the outfit Robin was wearing, as the outfit was his old circus outfit. Slightly modified, but yeah. So it begins with Dick reciting various facts about Robin's. At school, he's being bullied by some of the older kids, but he takes it down promptly. The principal casts aspersions that maybe Bruce Wayne is abusing Dick. But Alfred got him a new journal with a lock, and basically tells Dick to be himself, not Master Bruce. But it's Dick's birthday, and but dinner will have to wait because there's something else that Batman wants to do. A birthday present for him. Tells him to suit up as Robin, and takes him to the Justice League satellite. And Robin meets the Justice League: Hawkman and Hawkwoman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Red Tornado, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Elongated Man, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Zatanna, Green Arrow. And he also meets the sidekicks. 4 of the sidekicks. Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, Speedy, and Aqualad. First meeting of all 5 original Teen Titans. Roy's a jerk. Very, but they want to go. They all kind of want to go on a mission. So Dick figures something out, and they sneak into the teleporter. They take down the Royal Flush Gang. Looks like Toyman, possibly also King Shark. Get back, and everything's fine. You know. Then the League comes back, and Robin heads back to the manor with Batman. He tells Alfred, "Oh, I got to meet Superman. I got to shake his hand. I got to meet Wonder Woman. Oh, it was so great." And then Batman simply says, "Robin, mission debrief." And Robin outlines the weaknesses of all 4 of the other sidekicks. Roy is easy to take down. Low self-esteem, overcompensates by acting out and constantly trying to impress. Can be exploited easily. Garth is the opposite. Doesn't care what people think about him. Separate from others, make him lose control, turn the tide before striking. Wally West, inferiority complex. Donna Troy, she's a good in everyone. Alfred is, to say shocked is a massive understatement that Batman did this, and storms off calling Batman a bastard. But Bruce tells Dick he did good. The issue ends with Killer Croc, however, going to visit the calculator, learning that, the Flying Graysons, Graysons was their last name. The parents were killed. They had a son named Richard who was adopted, but the record, not even calculator could find out who adopted him. But he was able to find out where Richard Grayson is going to school, and that is where the issue truly ends with Killer Croc standing in front of Gotham Academy. I'm really liking the Robin and Batman series. Like, seriously, it's a good title. It's a good mini. Yeah, I'm really digging it. And for our final book of the week, we've got Future State Gotham #8. Yes, that is good on the cover, and we'll see why this wasn't a thumbnail book, because normally it would, because Grifter, my boy, my human train wreck. So Grifter's got a bodyguard detail getting someone out of Gotham. Seems everyone's after this girl. And Hush is starting to make a move. Basically, the 3 crime bosses: the Whale, Tobias Whale, to be exact, mob boss of old Gotham, the Owl, representing the city's old money, and the Dog, the GCPD's top crooked cop. And so, Hush, but all 3 of their gangs are overlapping, trying to take this girl down. But Hush has an idea. Send in, kill everyone. And he's already put into motion. As Grifter arrives at one of his safe houses, apparently because he got a Blackgate during when Warmonger escaped, he was in prison at the end of the Grifter story in Dark Detective, after all. They know everything about him, so yeah. But then Talon shows up, and as do some of Tobias Whale's people. But then something happens outside, and the Talon has his throat torn open, and we find out just what it is that's happening outside. The next Joker has arrived, killing everyone. And Joker tracks Grifter and his client to the Bat Crater. And then, as the fight continues, the next Joker takes off his mask. And seemingly, and I mean this literally, bites off Grifter's head. And that is where the issue ends. So yeah. Next Joker showing up and just, chomping Grifter's head off. Not exactly going to put this, endear this issue to me. Otherwise, it was a fun issue. Up until that last point. Grifter being, well, the human train wreck we all know and love, and, well, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.